Welcome, RPG Eliminate fans, to the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2023 Fall Tournament Week 4, Game 2, A New You. My name is Thavian Hawk. With me today is Siberian Bull with our tracker duo of Reckless Charlie and Socket. Dark Moon EX on restream. Thank you very much. Siberian, what are we looking at with these very interesting A New You characters? This does not look like normal party members to me.
No, these don't look like Robot Masters either, and that's what I'm used to. But apparently we got some character swappage going on here. Looks like the majority of our runners here are running a pirate and defender, but they also got our traditional white mage and black mage, as we got some of our traditional characters taken out, but we also got marauders and I believe another type of character. I forget what else it was, and we got our black belts as well.
Indeedly do. Some of the characters have been completely reworked with new ability sets. You can see there, Woo Bear is checking out different characters as he's shipping his party. You can see stats that have been changed, new spell selections available, different gear that they can equip. There aren't normal blurstings to adjust the normal characters. They're just more or less new characters. Very fun to see. And they even have promotions, which, given the fact they get the free tail to start with, and we even have the Cardia Isle dock for Bahamut's, I assume we'll be seeing some boat action straight to the Cardia Isles ASAP.
Yeah, we're gonna see some boat. We're gonna see maybe a bit bridge crossers, but there's still a lot to check on this. As I believe our goals are pretty much relatively same, just our layouts completely different.
Indeedly do. It looks like almost every incentive item is vanilla location. There are no Fiend Dungeon incentive items, and there's nothing in Marsh Locked. I believe it's just normal Marsh there, but we shall see where the racers go. We only have open progression, not extended open progression as well, so they can't just walk to Elfland. If they get the canoe, they can make it there, but they cannot otherwise just walk.
Walking is the only thing that's allowed. And pain. These runners, as someone who's in the booth usually for these type of races, I gotta say the runners must suffer.
Well, especially since Danny jumped in right at the last second and ended up rolling the seed, so we have some interesting fun almost certainly in store for these runners. Thank you, Danny. To my knowledge, it was either Danny or Dark Moon. Danny got it, so.
I'll take your word for it. As it's really my first time doing the Final Fantasy rando commentary. I'm usually doing the Mega Man 2 rando because that's my home. But I'm trying to pick up this rando and trying to learn it more. So I hope you guys will be nice to me.
I'll trust this community, and all those who join and watch it are very welcoming to new members. And we are off. Luffy DV going in town, Lord Fizzy following. White Magic, first look, we have Invis 2, and what else? And then Temper and Warp, Black Magic paying off hard.
Having Warp this early is also very nice to have.
And that was Heal 3 and Invis 2 at White Magic. Looks like we have hint givers on, at least Lord Fizz will be checking the hint giver, and also a stack of equipment with a Saber Bonk free at the start, and a gold +3 bracelet. This starting armor looks pretty dang spiffy.
Definitely looks very spiffy, and we got a nice set of magic to start this seed too, so we're just needing to see what direction our runners will end up going in afterwards.
Notice the weapons are very highly buffed. +4 or 5 on some of these weapons can make them much more effective against some interesting encounters early.
Looks like Luffy's taking a stroll out into the world already and see what's there. As obviously, we're gonna run away from most of these enemies, but when we find our grand titles, we will. But into the castle he goes.
Getting some gold out of that bottom left chest. Luffy taking the top left first route. I always kind of wondered why racers would do this, run to the top left first, but if you find nothing in those two chests, or the counter table is just bad, you can just warp right back out, reset out, and go to the bottom left, or go straight to Garland. And, fast +2. That is a must grab. Luffy DV happy to find that. Yeah, you have a whole item stock of weapons and armor to start out with these flags, but nothing comes close to that fast sword early. Well, except for the Saber Bonk they got.
Yeah, but it's still nice to have. Hey, we have a shop full of nice stuff, but hey, here's this chest of something even nicer.
And our first Garland encounter from Budget Mono. Will Garland have anything interesting, or will Garland just die? Well, Garland puts that black mage down to 1 health. That's scary to see.
And
But
there he goes.
and our first kill on Garland done. Luffy D following up, going with the buffs, getting that temper, getting fast, trying to bane Garland. It's interesting choices, but
Got a rod. And a crystal.
well, we got the scepter from the king, and we've got the crown jewels of sorts that we're right south of Matoya's cave, so that's a really fast incentive item check.
And we got Budge stocking up on potions right now so he can heal himself later. Still checking. Gonna go to the inn real quick and heal up his entire party because that black mage, he's probably gonna use that for his major damage later.
Quite possible, especially if get a lot of good sweepers early. Right now, no sweepers. They only got temper and warp, which they're not unhappy for. But looking for fire, ice, nuke, lit, anything like that. Otherwise, really happy to see this crystal early because they are currently running with a 10% growth per incentive item in hand. So if you can get these quest chain items out early, that just makes your gold and EXP income from encounters that much better earlier.
We got both Werebear and Budge in Matoya's cave checking out the chest here. Didn't look like there was anything too interesting. I think there's one nice item there.
Pro ring out of Matoya's top left, and it looks like the Masa -2. I mean, you're gonna take a Masa no matter what, but -2 is not as happy. It's still the Masa. For anyone new to the community, the Masa Moon is the best individual weapon that just about any character can use unless they're literally told they cannot use it by a blursing, which none of these enemies do, so you could see a white mage wielding a Masa if you wanted to go white samurai strats, for instance. Looks like all of our runners now have gotten their Masa and are on their way to Provoca, gonna fight some pirates and check out the level 2 magic and item shops.
With Luffy being the first one into the town, let's see what these pirates end up giving us at the end.
Now, starting with that Bane stick, I wouldn't be shocked that he has equipped one of his characters. They're just going to try and end the pirates in one shot. There it is, Bane coming out. Ooh, one of the pirates survived.
2 of them did.
Well, they will have to suffer another round of swings, and there you go. That fun thing with Final Fantasy 1, if you kill something or something runs away that you targeted with another character, the swing goes through and does nothing.
Well, let's see what the pirates end up giving us here. An adamant.
That is another really good check and really easy to run and check in on. It's also, since it's not the TNT, you don't have to go too deep into the dwarves. And there's our look. We get Black Magic Fast and Brack at Black 2. More really good spells, but no sweepers. Meanwhile, if we can get a look at the White Magic from one of our runners that has one, Lord Fizzlebeef only going Pirate Black Mage, does not have anything to check for white. Harm 3 and Life. We do have Life 1 in battle, so that can come into handy outside or inside of combat, depending on the situation. And that Harm 3, with the improved Harm, does mean that there is a sweeper in the hand of our white casters now. No good gear, it seems, in the stores, but Luffy, our first runner in and then out of Provoca, and Woobear following in, taking the lead with the encounter.
Looked like Luffy was trying to find something else, but didn't find what he was looking for there as far as an encounter. So Woobear is, but pretty much right at this point, all the runners will be following each other because the map's relatively vanilla.
The only changes to the map we've got, it seems, are the northwest docks, so the dock on Area Isles or Hummus in the second shop. We do have a port one with an item in Area Isles, so there's an incentive item Luffy getting us to talk about the raid war. And getting the ship.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, I guess we're going to be seeing the wall now.
I assume that we are going to see runners going straight into Cardiac, get those items behind Bahamut, putting the incentive item and promoting. That gives access to more magic with the casters and upgraded pirates and defender in case of all runners, except for Lord Luffy, who just has multiple upgraded pirates to work with.
Yeah. I imagine we're going to be seeing those upgraded characters here momentarily, very soon from all the runners.
Now, we do not have the canoe, so a cheeky dive to ordeals isn't on the play at the moment, but they do have easy access to to Crescent after this to get the item from the sages. If they choose to route the way of easiest access to incentive items.
Alright, let's see what Bahamut gives us now.
Our first promotion, sub 9 minutes.
Ooh, katana.
That is the herb from the incentive item in Cardi Isles. That is another really fast check to take. And takes the right to Elfland to get access to level 3 and 4 magic as well, especially after promotions. Nice to go there. Well, yeah.
At this point, yeah. With all these early checks, it's like it's almost like we're going straight in order, getting the herb this early.
Well, the route is leaning up rather linear so far. There hasn't been much reason for our runners to diverge. Ooh, I noticed that I knew we got the katana. I didn't notice it was +1. That's pretty nice because I do believe the pirates upgraded can wield that.
Here's some herbs, Your Majesty.
Nom 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 granola bar. That is the ruby for Luffy DD coming from the Prince of the Elves.
Yeah, I forgot that flag was on. Ice 2. Was that Quake?
Yep, Quake and Quad X are first sweepers and kill spell available for our black casters. And Cure 3, that's not a horrible spell to see at all, but Luffy passing on that for the moment, understandably so. Ruse and Life 2. Life 2, a definite pickup, and he even has multiple party members that can cast that if he has the charges.
Crystal.
And Lit 3, our first real top-tier sweeper available at level 4 black. No sign of the incentive item, though, in the shop, so that's something else to look for. And the hint giver saying, oh, talk about the crystal. You already got it? Oh. So far, Elflin looking like a quick sweep out, and Luffy is on the water. It looks like he is going towards Crescent.
Seems like the logical play to do.
The only other location they have access to immediately, they could go through Titan's Tunnel and Sarda. Otherwise, they can go into Earth, which, well, I mean, they could beat a Lich down, but there's no incentive items down there, so not something to bother with. I'd assume, depending on what the sages have, he's probably just going to go straight over and deal with that card, or the, ooh, Toxic Peds.
At least he saved. At least he saved when he left the previous town. But Werebear's went in a different direction.
Interesting. We have our first divergence. Yeah, everyone but Luffy on stream going to Marsh. Also, Danny, you're supposed to do spiders, not Peds, but I approve.
Let's see if we find anything interesting down here in the marsh, though.
No incentive item in the shop at Crescent, and key. That's huge.
Yeah, that's definitely huge. As another key item found for our runners here. As Fizzlebill is like, well, got the key. I'm out of here.
Indeedly do. Having access to warp early, getting the charges, can just back right out. Now the thing with the key is they're on the outside. They'll have to come in to the inner sea if they want to, but that gives them access to Canaria Lock. That's another incentive item that they can pick up. We gotta look at level 6 black. I missed if we saw level 6 white. Level 6 black, you had Saber, Fire 2 Hold, and Bane. And that is the crown coming out of the sages. So that's another reason to go back to the other side of the inner sea.
It looks like Fizzle Bear is now following in Luffy's tracks now. Or Beef, sorry, Fizzle Beef.
I was gonna say, you're mixing up Woo Bear and Fizzle Beef on us. That would be an interesting combination. I can just imagine. My brain will break if I tried to, but I could. I just choose not to.
We got Fizzle Bear sign. Ooh, there's a troll. That's gonna do us a lot of XP. Give it to us, please. We need it.
It's mostly the gold, but the XP is a valuable thing to have. At least he didn't find the Peeds. The Peeds we know are Peeds. It looks like Luffy not doing with the crown right now, taking the dock to get to Titans and Sarda. Routing-wise, it makes the most sense from where he is. We're seeing level 6 or level 5 white and black. There is Nuke and Ice 3 in black, level 5. We also saw Harm 4, Cure Exit, and Fog 2 in white magic. So they're fighting pretty much all the best magic they can at this point, subs or 6 or below. Serious divergence here. Woo Bear is going to Canaria Locked as Budimano and Luffy are going to That's the first half of Sky coming out of Canaria Castle.
We got the cube out of there too.
Indeed. And there's the second half. That is the chime in Titan's Tunnel. So Canaria Castle locked, and Titan's Tunnel gets access to Sky. In a moment here, we will see what is in Sarda's cave. We know the herb's not there, so he's not packing anything to give. At least nothing you'd expect from an old man stuck in the cave. Let's see what he has to give otherwise. That is the canoe. So he had it. It wasn't the sages.
Well, we can put that on the put ordeals back on the list now, I guess.
Indeed.
There's a try.
Indeed. And yeah, with that also puts Ice Cave and Volcano in accessible states. And with the early warp, Ice Cave is totally doable, although it's out of the way compared to some other checks, including, as you said, ordeals. So I don't expect our runners will make a beeline for it anytime soon.
No, I don't believe so. It'll be interesting to see where they go, where they all decide to go now, with what they have in hand. As with what we have, it's really going to be a matter of, I guess, finding out who's going to make the correct play here.
Well, Luffy about to find out what the crown has to offer. If the crown is access to the floater, perhaps? Nope, that is the TNT. That's another incentive check, and is a very close check to make. So once the Dark Elf Astos is down, that is access to whatever Narek has for them. And Woo Bear taking a proximity check. He's actually going to check the Hall of... Oh, that is an eye tile found in the Hall of Giants. And yes, that is poisonous power to be used, but if that eye goes down fast, I could see coming back for a grind, if not taking it now.
I would say that's pretty fast.
Yeah, quad Xable, and that poison on that white mage just means it'll go down go down eventually, so he can just grind that party off. Looks like the crown turned into TNT, which turned into a ruse stick, so ordeals is literally the last place, or Ordeals and Ice Cave are the two places that they can go. Fizzlebeef having not gotten the key, or the cube having not done the dive into Marsh, is about to do that and get that chain taken care of. And looks like Woobear is going to dive into Earth itself. Took a few encounters, bailed out, and saved.
Yeah, got a good chunk of XP to go, but you know, now we're gonna see what's really waiting for us down on Earth.
We don't have any shuffled or interesting fiend selections, so that's just a speed bump and speed bump's pre-bump. And Budge Mono, our first runner down into Ordeals. Let's see, can we get a Pillar 3 or Pillar 4 maze? I always like to say Pillar 3.
Nope.
Well, ain't this a friendly set? The first pillar in top left takes you back to top left, the second pillar takes you to bottom left, and one of the pillars in bottom left takes you to top left. My word, it was a Pillar 1 maze.
Yes. It was a relatively vanilla-ish, I would say, or straightforward maze right there, I would say.
It was definitely something that was passable without needing those early warp charges, although it's nice to have that warp charges to back out when you can. I doubt Lord Fizzlebeef with the key will bother going in to raid the dwarfs. Nope, he warps immediately after he gets that roo stick, and he is most likely going straight down to Ordeals himself. Meanwhile, Gerwolves have Flash, just because they can be annoying. Woobear finding that out to his annoyance as he lights the wolves up with some lightning. And there's another katana in Ordeals top left.
Yeah.
If in fact those pirates can wield katanas, Lord Fizzlebeef is going to be exceptionally happy because he will have had access to 2 of them.
Bear taking on the vampire.
Lord Fizzlebeef not going to Ordeals is going to Ice Cave. Yet more divergence.
And there's our floater.
Which means Budge Mono made the right choice. Now he doesn't have to bother with the river system, he can just fly right into both the volcano and the ice cave. Now what Lord Fizzlebeef pulls from Ice Cave, we will not see until he makes his way down there, but hopefully it's something good for him. Looks like Luffy is checking the Astos. Oop, he finds the Agama. The Agama there instead of the eye. He's not taking the fight, but he now knows it's there if he has to get a grind in. As far as trap tiles go, for solo encounters, the Agama and the Eye are the 2 best you can get. If that Eye truly is as trolly as it looks like it might be, the Agama might just have been the better choice. Either way.
Here's our first Lich encounter, too.
Speed bump? What speed bump? And the speed bump has been squashed. As Woobear gets our first orb on stream, taking out the speed bump, Budge Mono is our first racer into the sky, making that quick jaunt up to save at the Crescent Store and possibly pick up any potions or camping gear he might need. And Lord Fizzlebeef into ice, uses the warp trick, finds the triangle, which in this case is the loot.
Cure 4 there. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything really interesting in the shops there.
Not much to need. We've got Luffy and Woobear about to make their way into Ordeals and find that floater and be very happy. Meanwhile, Lord Fizzlebeef, our first runner through ice, has the loot and the key, so once he gets his way into Topher, he has his actual access to the past. It is actually very nice to see this much divergence this early because it makes us guess where our runners are going and what they can get out of it.
Yeah, it makes it real interesting.
So I wonder, Budge Mono, if he was checking to see if that was if recruiting was enabled, or I don't know why he ran into the clinic there.
I mean, it's not like he needs the recruits.
Yeah, his party's strong enough with his current configuration. His casters are good with the spells they have, and he has a stick of TNT to trade in for, I believe it was a roost stick. And Luffy finding that katana +1, whether he needs it or not. It's always a nice weapon to see. Our tracker socket confirming, yes, it is a ruse +2, as we now see from Budge Mono. He's dishing out one of his unnecessary weapons for the ultimate utility that is evasion stacks. Now, Budge Mono, with that airship, is making quick work of navigating around, getting all of his purchase items out. And, oh, well, we do have the tavern enabled. I did not realize we had the tavern enabled. He is changing his party composition, getting access to use that katana, moving the Masa down to his other party member. Really wanted that pirate to take advantage of that weapon, swing the best crit stick in the game that you can get. Meanwhile, Woobear and Luffy DB both out of ordeals and on their way to pop the floater and get that flying ship out of the desert.
Yeah, it's Woobear and Luffy just decided, yeah, we're gonna go do the same thing at the same time. And now they can fly.
Now, at this point, access to any other incentive items, I believe, is Waterfall and the store item. So it looks like Budge Mono about to get his loot and be happy with that, but they haven't checked Gaia, they have not checked OnRank, and they have not checked the caravan for a possible store incentive item, which at this point is gating our progress. We still need, or the runners I should say, still need the Oxyale. Once they have that Oxyale, they are in go mode.
That could be anywhere.
At least from what we have seen, Budge Mono, the only one who would actually be... Actually... Okay, none of our runners are exactly one item away from go mode. I'm now checking our tracker. We know what gets them to go mode and where everything but that Oxyale is, but that's the fun thing about tracking so many players playing the game.
That's the difficulty of tracking so many players. But that's why we got 2 trackers. Shout out to trackers.
Thank you, Socket. Thank you, Reckless. Luffy DV down on Agama floor, checking that first chest. Not even gonna bother check the tile. He is just down there in go mode. Gonna heal up. He has run off a lot of those lava tiles. One nice thing about Volcano, yeah, those lava tiles hurt, but there is no encounters on the lava tiles, so your party loses life, but you don't get in fights. Budge Mono, loot in hand, now is one item, that Oxyale, away from go mode. They do have to get all 4 orbs in this seed to get out or get into the past and fight chaos. Meanwhile, Luffy and Bear are both down in Carrie's floor, about to fight the many-armed snake lady.
She gives nice hugs.
Brutal cutting hugs.
So told.
If I remember correctly, she's based off of Lilith or something of that nature. I don't remember the original Fiend names. I just know a lot of this game is ripped straight off of her of D&D.
As is most fantasy type of things.
For some reason, I think Budge Mono is going through every single Cardia Isle and just killing all the dragons. At least it looked like it.
Here's the reason for it. What that is, I don't know.
We see Woobear, we see Luffy DV both killing Carrie, getting out of there with Fire Orb. That's 2 orbs for Woobear, taking the lead there as 1 orb gets lit for Luffy. Meanwhile, Budge Mono is in on-rack as Lord Fizzlebeep is in the waterfall. The on-rack item store has nothing, so our incentive item is for sale in Gaia.
Let's see if that's where he decides to go next.
If it's the bottle that leads to the slab that leads to the Oxyale, I believe that is our chain at hand.
So what you're saying is the best thing for us, the viewer.
Yeah. The ribbon is also out there. I believe we do have one incentive ribbon in the pool. So this could be the ribbon, or this could be the bottle, or the slab coming out of Waterfall. They wouldn't be unhappy seeing the ribbon for sure, but really, if they just get the Oxyale now and can skip the entire Lefane and Waterfall checks, then they'd be happy. Or Lefane and Fairy checks, I should say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be happy to go in straight to go mode.
And it's the slab, so Lefane is on the table. Meanwhile, Woobear and Luffy just encounter swapping their way through Ice Cave.
Yeah, it's like a high five. It's like, hey, I'm coming in. All right, see ya. And there's our loot.
So looting the loot and some gold. I love that Woobear doing the route where you warp out and you run up the stairs in that short connector and then you continue warping. That saves one charge for very few steps. Fizzlebeep going to translate the slab as Luffy goes to get the cube, and Woobear is fighting his way through through Astos to get the TNT. All the divergence, but eventually it'll all coalesce. Now this is actually good for Fizzlebeep, I'd say, because if he has the Lefane check that takes him to Lefane and eventually Gaia, with the cube and the chime, he could proximity his way through Sky if he thinks he has the levels for it. Proximity routing can be a big value thing. Does he trade up any of his characters? It didn't look like he did.
No, he's still sticking with the 3.
Nope, it looks like he swapped out his Black Mage. He is going no dedicated caster. He has a 2 pirates and a defender, I believe, that have been promoted.
Mm-hmm.
This Fizzlebeak is checking in to Elfland Tavern and shifting. Now going with 2 white casters. I am somewhat confused as to what Lord Fizzlebeak is doing, but he actually knows what he's doing. Meanwhile, Luffy in Gaia finds the bottle at the shop, gonna pop the bottle's cork and get himself some vanilla Oxyale. Yes, indeed, that is a vanilla Oxyale. He does not need to do the slab turn-in at all. He cuts Lefane out entirely and is in full-on go mode.
Yep, time to kill.
That means Waterfall is a womp. Ooh, Luffy finding some steak and wings on his way towards the Mirage Tower. He's gonna take those juicies.
Budge getting his slab. Hopefully avoids actually going to check that.
Wait a second, those are knights. Those aren't white casters. Interesting. A promoted character of the Marauder, I believe it was, that promotes into the knight in this case. Budge waves hi to his ship parked at the water dock that'll never get used again as he goes down to the Lefane check.
Yeah, we know this is a red herring too.
Well, it's not so much a red herring as it is just a long way to get one of the best items in the game, because if there's a ribbon in the incentive pool, then that is just great armor. It also puts them down here with the Lefanians. Oop, it's the Saber Bonk, not the ribbon. So we have oh yes, we have the Power Stick and the Power Bonk as incentive pool items today. Sort of a womp, but as I said, they have the Lefanian Superstore on, so they can stack up all the magic they need, especially Luffy, having shuffled his character party around completely, needs to restock all of his spells on E and all of his casters. When a party member is recruited over top of another party member, that party member does not get any of the equipment re-equipped, and they also do not possess any of the spells, even if it's another version of the same character. So you have to buy up all the spells and re-equip all the gear after you've replaced that party member.
Which is no fun.
It takes some time, but it may very well be worth it. I trust Fizzlebeef to actually be doing this for a good reason. Bear, having gone in, got that translation done, is probably on his way to Lefay now as Fizzlebeef and Budgemano leave. Meanwhile, Luffy is on the spider floor going up to Sky, not even bothering to check Cece's Gambit. He is in go, go, go mode to the Sky Maze and on into the Bridge of Destiny. People in chat, get your robot chickens ready. Our Lord and Savior Warmac, will he make an appearance?
Meanwhile, as he's doing that climb, he's deciding like this is where I'm gonna grind a bit, just kill everything that's along the way.
One of the best dungeons to do it in. You can find loose eyes. You can find some pretty powerful creatures that come in relatively small packs. That, yes, they can hurt a lot if you face them, and they face you up hard, but they produce a good amount of experience. I mean, this is the last dungeon in the game by order, so you'd assume what's here is pretty juicy. Especially something like a Metal Slime pack. If you have a free fire cast or a lot of spell casts for fire spells, that could make a really solid party grind on the run. On to the Bridge of Destiny we go. Free Nacho, he's gonna take it. Ain't a war mech, but he's happy to see it.
Happy for the XP too. Thank you.
Fizzlebeef dealing with some vampires as we get our first look at Tia.
And no chickens for us.
Ooh, Fizzlebeef going with the Brack strats. Do we get the Brack kill on Tia? Ineffective. Could go for it again, stacking up the fast, stacking up the saber otherwise, and fire too. That is the most thematically accurate spell I have seen with Fiend Fire in quite some time. More Brack strats out, does not affect. Ooh, Tia hitting hard, the temper comes out. I'm assuming we're going to see some swings here from that knight. Meanwhile, more Brack strats from the Black Mage. Or Black Wizard. 500 damage it looked like, if I saw that correctly, so good damage, and there goes the Black Mage, no more Brack. Tia doesn't have any of that. Hold comes out, does not affect the Swinger. Swinger kills. That is our Sky Fiend down for Luffy DB. That will be his second of 4. Lit and ready to go. All of our runners otherwise are in Mirage now, heading up towards Sky as Luffy is on the go. I'm assuming he will go Volcano and then Earth, or Earth, well, I mean, it's Volcano and then Earth, or Earth and Volcano, either way.
Oh, Earth and water, ain't it?
Yeah, you are correct. Water, I should say. He did Volcano already.
Yeah, it was pretty much him and Woober were in sync through the Volcano.
You know, I think there must be something going on here as an incentive or special thing, because Luffy is currently going through and slaughtering every single dragon he can get his hands on.
Now, as someone unfamiliar with this, is there an actual point to doing this?
Dark Moon in chat pointing out the special for points incentive for this race is lizard people go ahead and deal with 5 dragons for bonus points. And as this is talk 2 and we have the NPC guillotine on, it means you dispatch said dragons.
So we're just straight out murdering people.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, you're putting them in bed. If you leave and come back, they wake up and they're happy and ready to go.
Meanwhile, Fizzlebeef dealing with their team in fight now.
nothing doing with the ooh, fast coming out. Got the swings. Not dealing with any Brack strats or Bane strats. This is just buffs and swings. Not getting a lot of hits out, and that's a lot of punches.
Oh, certainly enough of the swings.
And that is the Forest Orblet. Budgemono, our only racer left on stream. Ooh, blue steak. That's something delicious the Lord Fizzlebeef is happy to take. Woobear finding some red hydras right before Tia's door. Same red hydras for Budgemono, also on the Bridge of Destiny.
But sadly, no chickens.
Budgemono, we still have hope.
Meanwhile, Fizzlebeef about to find out the good news.
Buy a bottle, get some Moxie Ale. Seems like a fair trade. Also seems like a tourist trap where you have to buy the thing to enjoy the thing at the tourist trap.
But he's still got a long way to go because he's got to go through 3 dungeons even after this.
Very true. We haven't seen any stupid, crazy things encounter-wise thus far, so... we shall see. We shall see. This is still a Danny seed. Topher could truly be the greatest of equalizers. Ooh, Luffy picking up a ribbon. On his way through C. That is huge to see.
Always happy to see a ribbon. Another team. Let's say another team at down. No chickens.
Yeah. Well, Robot Chicken lives for another day, another time, in another parallel world.
And in our hearts.
Indeed they do. The Robot Chicken pacemaker. Extra nuclear powered. Very punchy. Lord Fizzlebeef into the Sea Shrine, Woobear just behind as Luffy is on his way to Kraken on Kraken's floor, and Budgemono is running straight down the volcano, enjoying the hot feet of the lava. Now, question: will Fizzle find the? Nope, Fizzle is not going to find that ribbon.
Nope, he's just hauling it right now. It's like, we gotta go.
Fizzle is embodying his mantra of speed and power. He will run straight past almost every single chest at this point. Now that he's in go mode, he is going to kill. He is going to pop the Eye Pinata of experience. That Gershark Big Eye pack is very juicy. You can see Luffy also taking that encounter. And our first look at Kraken as Kelly goes down to Budgemono, or is going down.
Yep, I didn't realize where was actually on their last dungeon, now that we think about it.
Indeed, Woobear has gone through 3 already, is on his 4th, and will be our first runner in Topher, it looks like, on stream. If the Kraken doesn't do too many bad things. Saw Luffy lose a party member, at least. In fact, lost 2 party members in that fight. Luckily, Gaia is a very fast place to get popped up, and Budgemono down with the carry fight. So that's 2 orbs for Budgemono going to Earth to deal with a speed bump. Lord Fizzlebeef taking care of Kraken, right as Woobear makes his way to Kraken. Already down a party member.
As we get to see Luffy now make the race down to take on their speed bump as well.
I actually like this Luffy. Oh, never mind. Resing. He didn't stop to res at the city. He just used the casts he had. Life 2, bringing them up to full health. At the res works out. And Woo Bear, there goes the 4th orb. Woo Bear is in full go mode, ready to go back to the past to kill Chaos.
Kill something.
Now I just want a Jack-themed sprite pack, and then Aku as a alternate theme for Chaos, or alternate version for Chaos. Community, make it happen, please. Bear going back into Titan's Tunnel finds the eye to get the grind on. Thinking he needs those levels.
It probably does.
As we have not seen just how chaotic Chaos is, well, how bad Topher has, or will be, may well be, so. My ability to process proper, complete sentences is starting to fail me, so hopefully the race ends sooner than later. Go faster, runners, please.
No promises.
All of our runners, whether they're going after Lich or not, oh, nope, Woo Bear leaves, as I was about to say, they were all in Earth at the same time. Now only 3 are. Bear is out, is landing outside of Toph, about to head back into the past of Topher.
Looks like he's. I thought for a moment that Luffy's going to leave his party members down. I was like, yep, gonna put it all on the night.
Well, there is some value to having that party member down, but it looks like having the full 4-man is more valuable to Luffy in the moment. And there's a nuke coming out on Lich from Budmano. Budmano taking down Lich, and just after that, Lord Fizzleby doing the kill on the Lich with 7 hits, 600 plus damage. That punch in his bottom slot is doing work.
And 3 for 3 on Liches.
The speed bump has been full on flattened.
It's now a pothole.
Well, I mean, it's been stomped right back down in the past. Unfortunately, in the past, it's a little bigger and possibly more nukey, but who knows? Lord Fizzbeef getting rid of the dragons, as he is on his route to the Sky Palette, on his route to Water Shrine, where Budmano currently is. Meanwhile, Woo Bear has made it through the loot plate and is truly back into the past now, and Lord Fizzbeef, Luffy DB has made it into Topher.
Yep, going right behind him. It's going to be a matter of who was more prepared as they're approaching the end of the seat.
Very, very true. Woo Bear about to pull Speed Bump Mark 2. Do we see the vanilla nuke from the Speed Bump? Nope, Quad X, ineffective.
2 hits,
And-
goodbye.
And very thin Speed Bump he was. Bye-bye Lich 2 onto the Fire Fiend. Speaking of Fire Fiend and consequently the Water Fiend, Fizzle and Budge are both in their final dungeons, with Budge about to pull Kraken, as Fizz is 1 floor away from pulling Lady Carrie.
Speaking of Carrie.
We do. Carry 2 for Woo Bear.
Ooh.
Big hit and fire 3. Carry doing things, but dying at the same time.
That definitely hurt, though.
really getting good use of that level 4 life to bring back the front party member and ready to go onto the sea floor as Luffy smushes the second encounter with Lich. Ironically, the Lich of the past, which was more powerful than the Lich of the future, who was weak either way. Fizzle joining them in the past.
Yeah, let's say Fizzle's about going in right behind him. And did Bud? Yeah, Bud just finished it, just not up on the track. There we go.
That is all 4 of our runners into Topher. Kraken floor for Woobear. Bye-bye carry for Luffy, about to head down to the seafloor. You see Woobear stacking Invis 2, knowing Kraken can do that, punch really hard. Normally goes for the Whitecaster, who also normally would be in the 4th slot, but keeping it in the 3rd slot. Statistically the same amount of chance of being hit as the one in the 4th slot, but we know Kraken goes for Party 4 and goes for White Mages, regardless. The code will say otherwise, but we know.
You can't fool us.
Well, damage poison coming out from Kraken, followed by a nuke. Woobear in trouble, down to his solo knight. Meanwhile, Luffy has pulled the fight. Now that knight does have life 2, and he can pull up another party member who has life 2, so he can spread the charges around, but that takes some time to bring them back up. Gonna use spells to get the final heals up, not gonna waste the time using heal pots when he has charges to spare.
And Luffy having a much faster fight with Kraken right on Woobear's tail.
Dealing some water before getting onto the sky floor as Tia 2 is being pulled to be as brutal, if not more brutal than Kraken was. It is dragging herself into her prime.
Yep, we got Singage going on here. Once again, got party member drop for Woobear. But down goes Tiamat. Luffy having their own party member drop on them. As Fizzle is dealing with Carry 2 now. And Hedge dealing with the speed bump again. Budge
on the Lich. Lord Luffy on carry. Meanwhile, Luffy just finished Tia 2 and Woobear, our first racer to hit Chaos. Chaos ripping an Inferno shot. Meanwhile, we get Fast, we get Ruse. We're gonna stack some buffs on that knight, it seems. Zap coming out from Chaos for Luffy, and Nuclear for Woobear. Yeah.
It's taking a turn now.
I should say Luffy not having as bad of a trouble with the fiends, but those abilities will be coming around one way or the other. Luffy getting that Cure 4 out though, that fully heals up the knight as Inferno comes out to do damage. And that knight's swinging hard.
Oh, knight down for Woobear.
Immediately do. 41 health, and Woobear wipes first in and unfortunately first out. Meanwhile, Luffy hitting for over 1,000 damage. Ice 2 from Chaos, not enough to take down any party members. Swings again, 1,100, and there we go. That is a Terminated.
Yep.
Luffy, our first runner on stream.
Chaos has been returned to order.
That is Luffy's win with a racetime.gg time of 50:44. GG's in chat.
Yep. Meanwhile, we got, I believe, Fizzlebeef about to start their Chaos fight. With Budge at 4 behind them. 2 floors behind them, I'm sorry. And Fizzle Beef having their physicals pretty much all around, and their root's gonna go smack, smack, smack.
And we are joined in the booth by Luffy TV, GG's Luffy.
Hey, GG's guys, thanks.
So rather straightforward, huh?
I mean, I think I did like half a dozen of these over the last week, and I'm like, let's just, hope we get a somewhat normal party. And then the party was literally like normal, aside from the white mage being kind of garbage as usual. It was crazy.
Yeah, when you watch this back, you're gonna see how close it was for you there.
I'm excited to watch this back. Actually, I saw when Roots finished, and I see Wu Bear on his way back in a second time, so that must have been pretty tough.
Yeah, Wu Bear got to chaos before you, but he ended up wiping. So, oof.
Yeah.
Inferno and Nuclear did enough damage to wipe his party harsh.
Oof. Yeah. Ouch.
That chaos was pretty brutal. And on that note, Lord Fizzlebeef's second racer finished on stream 52:35. GG Lord Fizzlebeef.
GG's Fizzle.
With that, I will also mention he is 4th overall. Luffy, you were 1st overall with our 2 runners between Rubes at a 51:35 and Rojo with a final time of 52:30. Pardon me, with 52:27. Very, very close behind or ahead. Sorry, Lord Fizzlebeef, very close behind. Welcome, Lord Fizzlebeef.
Wow.
So, did Danny do a good seed for you?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you see my 2 boys, big and huge?
I was
They're
gonna
enormous.
do that. I was gonna do that. Like I was thinking on my way through Earth, do I ditch the white mage and pick up a second defender and just roll with double big boys? And I didn't. And
They were so big.
I was worried that like I would do that and I wouldn't be able to get life 2 on the second defender just in case because of something weird.
I didn't set foot in a single white magic shop before I flipped a defender. I was just like, I hope I get one or both of them. We'll find out when I hit Lefane.
They were both available.
Yeah.
Honestly, the magic on this seed was pretty friendly. I mean, level 5 nuke kind of annoying, but yeah.
The utility was good. The AoE is not so much, and the white mage not being able to use harm all was really weird.
I thought that was enabled. I guess not.
It was. It's just transmute just being funky. It's a lot of fun, but it has some quirks.
The level 1 warp was nice, but like it did what I wanted my initial party to do, but I had a hard time just being like, how do I get levels? Because I need levels before I transition to like big, huge, and punch. And I don't know how to do that because all I have is like Ice 2 and Lightning 3, and not many charges of each. So
Interesting here. Wu Bear unfortunately nuking out at Kraken 2. Deciding to use the time to go and talk to some dragons. Otherwise, Budgemano finishing 3rd on stream, getting kill on Chaos. Budge with a racetime.gg time of 54:59. Welcome and GG, Budgemano.
He's really excited, folks. He's really excited.
Speechless.
He's panting from exhaustion. It was a hard, fast, long run.
That was spooky chaos there, Budge, when you're unmuted.
Oh, sorry. I was hardware muted, not software muted. So I just gotta click all the buttons.
GG's, bud.
Oh yeah, GG's. Yeah, that was I don't know. I felt like I was running around with my head cut off the whole time. Couldn't figure out what was going on. That pirate just it wasn't doing it for me, so I replaced him. But it's all right. Got there in one dive. I'm happy with that.
Rough time for Wu Bear there. I'm actually not in the race time room.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, some stream glitching on Wu Bear's side.
There you go.
It's still running.
Eat that.
Yeah, Wu Bear having a rough time here at the end.
Sounds like what I did last week. I can sympathize.
So, Budge, what did you think of the party selection and the magic?
So was it the defender? The guy was awesome. He was kind of everything you want in a fighter, basically.
So strong.
Yeah, and then Black
pick.
Mage. Yeah, it was fine. I realized when I decided I started with the pirate for the running, and then I realized about halfway through the sea, not halfway, but I was around Melman, and I looked at my party, and 3 of my characters had 2-digit HP. I was like, oh, I forgot to use the N. I didn't forget to use the N. They just had trash HP. So
Yep.
I ended up finding the black belt to use the katana. So that was sort of a pivot in the middle. But I was trying to dig up stats. I was looking at the different characters and the blur spoiler screen. Like, what is going on? I'm in the middle of a race, looking at all these things. Panic. But it worked out.
I had the wiki up on my second monitor. Not gonna lie.
Yep. I was comparing luck stats. Like, wait, can this run? What is the strength? How good is this guy? Is it worth switching? So if I've crashed into a lot of walls, that was why.
I liked the pirate. The pirate ran for me. Maybe it was like I don't know. He was my run machine. Like he worked.
Yeah, he was running, but I realized he wasn't gonna do much, especially end game.
Yeah, that's true.
So
he had the
why I
mass up
dropped
to me for a little while, and I was using the fast sword on the defender. And then I realized it's stupid, so I gave the pirate a scimitar. He was a corsair or whatever at that point. So I don't know. He was doing okay, but he was on his way out if I stopped for that second defender, probably, or the white mage.
I was running 2 pirates at start, and I think for the longest time I just had Maza on one and like a scimitar +6 on the other, and there were no weapon changes until I flipped them out for defenders.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to not only randomize different parties from the vanilla, but also in-game shuffle them around. It just brings that much more entertainment. That many more choices.
The tavern mode's like definitely pretty cool in this as well, because like the defender was very strong, like Bizzle said, and you kind of maybe wanted to take 2 to begin with, but like weren't sure about taking 2, but you can pivot into that. And
The luck
was, a nice move. Then the luck was terrible.
The luck was terrible. If you took them at start, you weren't going to run with them from anything. But like if you get one to the end game, like it's hilarious. And then meanwhile the pirate is like the perfect early game thing. Amazing first strike chance, or at least getting rid of ambushes. Amazing run chance. Somehow less health than a black mage,
right?
Which I didn't think was possible, but there he was. So
yeah, I think I noticed early on, like the defender had close to 200, and both the mages were like over 100, and the pirate was still at like 70.
Yeah.
And like I knew that in the practices, like the HP comes, but it comes late. Like you're gonna get it like late teens, early 20s, and then you'll start feeling normal. But for the beginning, it's gonna feel real bad. So he eventually got there, but like you said, the biggest problem was gonna like where do you get your levels? Like I kind of have nuke, but like what 2 charges? I kind of have fade, but what 1 charged? Like I guess I'll take fights through sky, and like it worked out okay. But I mean the levels were curious.
I nuked like 7 Argoyles in ordeals, and I felt so bad doing it, but at the same time it was just like I have to get experience somewhere.
Yep.
It's here.
Yep. A lot of the same thinking that I was doing.
Man, it feels bad looking at Woobear. He has lost all but 1 party member twice. First to Kelly, or to Carrie, and then to Kraken. Now he's finally on Tia and still hasn't made it to Chaos again.
By the way, you were right the first time. Her name's Kelly now.
It is Kelly. Forever and ever.
Man, I just default to Snake Lady because I can.
Plus, you gotta put that Irish accent and go, Kelly!
The temper helmet where was their temper? I think it was in Marsh. It was really nice. Yeah, it was in Marsh, I think, which was really nice because it gave the white mage something to do in Temple of Fiends.
White mage.
Yeah.
I skipped a lot of boxes. I ran a practice of this, and just for fun, because there's an incentive Masa, I opened only incentive chests. I mean, it went fine.
Yeah.
I opened 35 boxes, and I felt like that was too many tonight.
I always
People
open
think
too many
parties.
boxes. I get yelled at by my team.
I feel like I opened too many tonight, but I was in search of armor and I found
Right.
it, so mission accomplished.
Yeah, I think
There
there was
was
a
was Dragon
plus
and
4, yeah.
Opal in
Like right next to each other, something
in
like that, right?
Cardia with the
Yeah.
katana
Yeah.
Mhm.
loaded.
That Woo Bear zapped all but his. Yeah, and
Oh,
now it's stunned and ow.
He must. There was one ribbon. Did you guys find it? That I
No.
found?
no.
Oh, I can't remember where it was. It
It
was
was
one
in
ribbon.
Sea Shrine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was enough wherever it was.
There's the cure
What?
4.
Mhm.
Life won the white mage. That is a white mage, right?
I believe so.
Life in
Yeah.
battle not being
Sure.
put to use.
It has like so much garbage, doesn't he? Rub and all this other stuff. Ugh.
Kind of slow in there too.
Yeah.
All the dirtiness that was in the seed landed in Topher, and Woo Bear's luck has been the worst.
Mhm.
He's not under leveled, all things considered. His gear is really good. He's just not getting luck.
He's
I
just
feel
not,
that.
It's,
You can
it's
do
just,
it.
He's just not having a good time.
I can feel that. Get him, Woo Bear. You can do it.
You can do it.
Well, he is still in the run. I'll go ahead and bring out a few more of our runners off stream who have finished up. Off stream, we had Ozlotto finishing up at 57:12. Burt Reynolds at 1 hour 1 minute and 52. GG's to Burt and Ozlotto. The great thing about the Fall League is there's way more than 4 people racing at any one time, and it's a team event. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't know why you were all assaulting all the dragons until it was pointed out by Dark Moon. It was like, oh,
If I had remembered to do my dragon talking when I still had a black mage, and when I was still like naturally in the area, boy, I could have been finishing up where Luffy was.
I got them on the way to Sea Shrine after doing Sky and had forgotten to do 2 of them when I promoted. So I had to go to a dead end and forest along with Swamp,
Mhm.
which felt kind of bad, but at least there was 3 in Swamp, so it felt less bad.
Mhm. Yeah, I was. I had just killed Lich, and that was my 3rd fiend. All I had left was carry, and it's just like, wait a minute, I haven't done the thing. Oh God, what was the thing? No, dragons. Let's go do dragons.
I put up a little tiny notepad tab next to me so I wouldn't forget it. Whatever I can do to remember.
and we are getting a message here.
Wow. Kelly not playing around.
Mhm.
Solarix finishing up at 1 hour 4 minutes, and it looks like Textron finish up at 1 hour 13:09. Woo Bear is our last runner still going. There's a little spoiler on the time there, but he is saying, guys, don't wait for me. I appreciate that he's not forfeiting. He is trying his hardest, but he is having the dangest of times doing it.
I can
can do the
feel
thing.
that. I can feel that. Just keep going, man. You got this. Don't forfeit. It was so hard last week to not forfeit. So I feel you, Woo Bear. You
You
got
can
it.
do it. 3rd
got
floor
it.
grind to 30. Just go.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. Like, do I take a few levels in Temple of Fiends? Like, if I can't get any on the way to Temple of Fiends, and like, I
Mhm.
felt okay in there, but I don't know. I considered that.
I took a 2-worm fight, and I would have taken anything else that would have been worth the time and effort, but nothing presented itself, so I just kind of ran from everything else.
The zombie dragons, I think, had squint or something. Like early on, I saw that. Otherwise, I wanted to swing at them. I found them a few times on the floor after the loot, but I was not bothering with that.
I had 4 zombie dragons try to cast Rub on Brig, and it did not work.
Yeah, we did see the Eye was in Hall of Giants, and then the Agama was the center box in Northwest Castle.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna pivot. If the eye was in Northwest when I found that at like, I don't know when I got the key, 20 something minutes maybe. Like I checked Northwest on the way to do something, and if the eye was in there, I was gonna pivot to the black belt. And I saw the Agama, and I thought maybe, and then I took a swing, and it had like north of 270, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do this. Oh,
Echo.
feedback, and not the good kind.
But yeah, I was so hoping that the classes would have allowed me to just YOLO 3-man, and this set did allow for that. Because if I could 3-man with whoever the black belt was, like I knew I would get 8 hits, and if I could get an okay amount of levels somewhere, I could maybe push up to 10 hits. I didn't get that in this seed, but I was darn close by the end.
Mm-hmm.
definitely helps having access to a fast temper and ruse item.
Two out of those 3.
Yeah, I think what the saber bonk must have been the slab turning because I didn't do waterfall.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also started with one.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
three.
which was when I realized like that was all that was left. Was I 50-50? I think the bottle turn in versus going to waterfall. Like the shop item was in Gaia before going over to Onrak, and it was the bottle with the Oxio, which was my go mode, and I was very happy that I did that.
See, that was the Gaia scam. The
Hmm.
guy, the fairy was in the shop all the time. Every time you come in, the fairy's out of the pond. It's in the shop. You have to pay the 40,000 gold to get the fairy and release the fairy, and then you get that little bottle of Oxyale, and then you just repeat it, and they just split the money 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Scam.
Business.
Mm-hmm.
With the way I play these seeds, I was going to Lefay no matter what, because I gotta go there to get all my magic for whatever classes I end up shifting into, so if it's a dud, it's a dud, and today it was effectively a dud, so I got everything I actually wanted there, which was magic.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Zap.
Zappy.
And
Done.
stun.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Bluebear, please.
Oh. That was turn order, man. He did so much damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He is not giving up, but he has given us the go-ahead.
I hope I was competent enough. I know I didn't really say it so much, but I hope I did well enough on commentary to do this for the first time, because it's certainly not robot. These are certainly not robot masters I'm dealing with.
You did plenty well, man. Well, first winner overall, Luffy. Final thoughts.
Thank you guys for the crew tonight. Darkmoon for the restream, Socket and Reckless Charlie tracking, Fabian and Siberian Bull for jumping in, man. I can't wait to watch this back. I saw you jump in today. Very excited to see you do comms for us and whatnot. And thank you to my runners tonight that ran with us. It was a lot of fun. Feels good. We'll see how things play out the rest of the week, but hopefully looking forward to the semifinals now.
Lord Fizzlebeef, same thoughts, questions.
Thank you to Transmoog for delivering my new adopted sons big and huge.
Very appropriate to you, Mr. Speed and Power. Budge Mono.
Yeah, thanks to everybody, doing the commentary, the tracking, the restream, and everything. Transmove is always a lot of fun. It can be crazy. Hopefully anybody out there watching it, if you're interested, come check it out. But looking forward to the semis, and really annoyed with Luffy for doing so well, and I think stealing first place from us. So
I had to pay you back after last week.
we'll get you in semis. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all 0-0 next week. The scores mean nothing.
Yep.
So let's have fun.
well, with that, I have been taping out. Thank you, Siberian Bowl. Definitely did not do a bad job. Trust me, my first time was no worse. Thank you to our tracker duo, Reckless. My brain is fail. I apologize.
You got this.
You
Push
got
through.
it. Do it.
Reckless Charlie and Socket with the tracking duo, and Dark Moon, thank you much for restreaming. If you like what you've seen, feel free to hop on to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can check out the randomizer there. You can also get a link to the Discord and join us on the Discord, chat it up, learn the Final Fantasy Randomizer itself, and just enjoy. It's a really chill community. With that, let's see if we can raid over to another event.
Oh, I thought we were. Yep. Good night, everyone.
It looks like we're actually raiding over to Woobear's stream itself. So if you want to see the final runner going, stick around.